You're going to make me laugh about that, Kathleen. Thank you very much for that introduction. Good morning, everyone. Infinite love and gratitude to all of you. I hope there's blessings on every one of you here today. And another week has gone by, and I find myself yet again contemplating the universe, our place in it, and what in the world is going on. Thank goodness for air conditioning, because our place in Tidewater has been really hot lately. Our ninth principle says we affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing are divine attributes, proven through mediumship. And with healing, we're always touching people, whether it's through auric energy, with hands-on, or just plain sending energy, distance healing. So I've been thinking about our individual interactions as it deals with healing and how we deal with each other. And it really got me to thinking deeply about it. So I was listening to yet another free online class last week, and one sentence, again, really slapped me upside the head. They tend to do that. And I can't even remember which class it was in because I sat in way too many. And I don't know which lecturer said it, and I don't even know if it was attributed to any specific person. So if it is, I am sorry. And I will say in absentia, I am attributing this to you. I just don't know who you are. So the sentence was, your life is about everyone you touch. Wow, that's everyone, whether it's the postman, the clerk at the store, your hairdresser, the janitor, the person who collects your garbage, the people who keep your power lines running, your friends, your family, everyone. Your life is about who you touch. So whether you think energetically, verbally, physically, however you contact people is affected by your touch, even on an esoteric level. I think even with your thoughts, what you think about people puts an energy into the universe. Because we know your thoughts are things and your actions are things. They can change the universe moment by moment. It's like they say hurricanes are started by the waving of butterfly wings in Africa. I wonder what our scowling or our happy thoughts do to change our world right now. Are you making your life and the lives of those around you more positive, or are you bringing sadness and irritation and fear? I hope not, because any negativity, any judgment, any happiness, any blessing in you is what you are touching people with. In The Biology Belief, it's a book by Dr. Bruce Lipton, who is a biological researcher. He found in experiments with the same stem cells and the same solutions that they were preserved and growing in, what thoughts they directed at the stem cells would change what they became. Think about that. If you could think those stem cells in that petri dish into growing a new heart, that they became heart cells, how fantastic. But if you thought negative thoughts at them, maybe you made them into cancer cells. Our thoughts are very powerful. Our emotions are very powerful. The only difference in those stem cells was the emotions, the sounds, the music, whatever they tried was the only thing that made them change. They were exactly identical stem cells. So it makes sense that we can think and touch our own stem cells and have them build us new parts of our bodies in a better state, instead of hanging on and claiming my arthritis, my bad back, I have trouble breathing. Whatever you're saying, you're sending thoughts to those stem cells that they don't recreate the new perfect you that you were in the beginning. So I ask you this morning, what do you want to develop in your life? Your brain is virtually on autopilot all the time. We have tens of thousands of thoughts every day. They estimate 70,000 thoughts a day for everybody. And if you doubt that number, even if it's only 10,000 thoughts a day, that's a lot. Think back when you were first learning to meditate and you were sitting there and, oh, the temperature, you didn't do your dishes, you had to feed the cat when you got home. All these thoughts just swim through your head when you're beginning to meditate. You can't control them. And we commonly call that the monkey brain, right? And you just got to go back to the beginning of where you started your meditation. And that's why for beginners, guided meditations or chanting helps them get into that meditative state better, because when you're talking or chanting or listening to someone avidly and deeply, you can't be having all those monkey thoughts, right? We know that. We know when we're just like listening to me this morning, if you're not listening, you're having thoughts. And I hope they're good thoughts. Oh, so it's all good. And I sometimes still do a lot of guided meditations just so that I can look at something different, because I always go back to the same things in my mind when I'm working on my self meditation. So it's better for me occasionally to drop into somebody else's line of thinking, give me something new. So back to developing your life and controlling your thoughts. We know those thoughts are things and they become reality. So whether you're looking for abundance, for a soulmate, for healing, if you're not thinking that that already exists and you're looking at it with joy and celebrating it like it's already here, then you're not really living up to the capability that your mind has to attract things to you. And not on the opposite side, have you ever had a really bad morning where you spilt your coffee, you stepped on the cat, you had a flat tire, and you got to work late, an hour late perhaps? Oh my goodness, how upsetting. And did you let that spoil the rest of your day? Did you tell yourself it's not going to be a good day, it's going to be a horrible, rotten day? You know, you can do that. But I learned when I worked in the Pentagon that if I just said, okay, that bad stuff's out of the way for the day, now I can go on and have a good day. All of that is done. I don't have to be expecting anymore. It's done. Oh, it's so nice to think it's over with and you're on to the super day. So you can state positively in your mind that it's done, it's over, and go on with your plan. Remember, your plan, it's the universe's plan, really. And they might have been getting your attention. They might have kept you from getting in an accident on your way to work. They may have been able to slow you down long enough to say, oh, I left the stove on or the coffee pot on so the house won't be burned down when you get home. You know, we need to look at those instances and say, oh, am I missing something here? Am I supposed to catch on to something? So now, as you take back a step back and we look again that your life is about everyone you touch. We need touch to survive, whether it's verbal touch over the phone or on Zoom like we do these days, this touch of friends that I so look forward to, or whether it was when we got a hug in the sanctuary or fellowship hall at church, or a kiss goodnight from somebody you love. We absolutely need touch. Babies don't survive without touch. We know that. And touch is just as important to adulthood. With babies, it's called failure to thrive. And they do die if they're not held and cuddled. And I think many, many adults are also in failure to thrive, because we call it depression, bipolar, anxiety disorder, the blues, sadness, disconnection, whatever. But it's about that lack of touch and connection. And we can be the healing balm for people if we reach out. And think about it today. And I just challenge you to reach out to someone you've maybe not thought about in a while, but maybe alone. And maybe really, really will rejoice from hearing from anyone. You know, just that one touch. I like to try and reach out to someone at least once a week, someone I haven't talked to in a while, just to see if they're okay. And it's helping me through the COVID sitting in place, and I hope it's helping them. So everyone, each one of us is responsible for the touch that you give and receive. Notice we're back to the giving and receiving that I always talk about. We breathe out love and we take in love when we inhale. So we give out touch and we take in touch when we connect with others. It's part of the universal balance. It's natural law. It's the essence of our reality. So your touch connects you to everyone. Do you want to touch anyone with negativity if you get it and give it? I don't think so. So I frequently picture, you're going to laugh at me. Do you want kindness and lovingness or abruptness and rudeness? And we can make our touch be a positive one. It takes discipline and courage, because most people don't even say hello to the janitor if they see them in a building. They don't say hello to their grocery clerk. They're just in such a big hurry to get out of the place that they just act like that person's not even in existence, like you're doing a self-checkout. You remember about being trained to answer the phone with a smile at work, because it raises your attitude, it raises your voice. And if you do that, you won't come across as grumpy. You might even be pleasant to talk to, even if you're having a Judy Blume bad day, right? So another thing I wanted to teach you, do you know about the Superwoman pose, the Superman pose? Okay, so what you do, and you hold this pose for 10 seconds, but first you raise your hands way up in the air. Go ahead and raise your hands up in the air with me. Yay! And then you put them on your hips like Superwoman did, and you just stand there and let everything sink in for 10 seconds. And I don't know about you, but I always get spirit bumps all over. I feel a tingle of energy down my spine. I just feel energized from just that 10 seconds. You feel like Rocky Balboa. You feel like you're all charged up. You stand up straighter. You present yourself better. You look more confident. And your touch is going to be confident with the people you're coming in contact with. It's just like you just took a big sip of universal energy. And I give you permission and authority to do that. If you have somebody you think it's going to be a conflict about, do that before you enter the room with them. You will step into your power. And personally, I think we need to do that every single day. We need to rest in our wholeness. We as spiritualists have a tremendous gift to give to the world. And we don't want them to think spiritualists are grumpy old people or grumpy young people. We want them to see that we have a lightness in ourselves that you don't see in others. And it's because we know spirit. So here's the part where you're going to laugh at me. I like to visualize myself sprinkling fairy dust on people, but it's the dust of happiness. And especially if it's someone I've had a little conflict with, or a little irritation and a little disconnection. If you can imagine that, just think how happy it would make you feel to imagine that someone that is just so darn grumpy, I almost said a bad word, is so darn grumpy. I caught myself, yay, fairy dust. And you're sprinkling fairy dust on them, and their nose starts to twitch, and their eyes start to blink. And you know that your fairy dust is really having an impact on them. I swear that the preponderance of everyone in the world, no matter what faith, no matter what country, they just want to live their lives. They want their families to be safe. They want a home to live in. They just want a job so that they can have a few extras. Most people aren't asking to be millionaires or be on The Bachelorette or whatever. They just want a peaceful life. What if we can touch them with something that brings them to an understanding that those small things have an impact? What if we can, with our touch, We can make Black Lives Matter. We can make justice matter. We can make healing matter. We can make a big change in the world because we affect everyone we touch. We just need an attitude of love and a touch that's positive for everyone around us. Bless you.